On 22nd April 2025, India witnessed one of its most darkest days in the past few years. If you were online that day, your screen would probably be flooded with Instagram reels, YouTube videos, and tweets, all echoing the horrors of the Pahalgam attack. In this video, we will see exactly what happened on 22nd April in Pahalgam, and also you will be seeing the aftermath of this attack. It was just another beautiful day in Pahalgam, Kashmir, often referred to as mini Switzerland. Just 6 kilometers away from the Pahalgam city, we have the Baisaran Valley, which is a stunning tourist spot which is only accessible by foot trek or by pony rides. Around 1:30 pm, 4 armed personnel and 2 locals emerged from the jungles nearby. At first, the innocent tourists who were laughing, playing, and enjoying their family time mistook these men for security personnel. Nobody panicked. Nobody even realized the danger standing right before them. Then suddenly, by 2 to 30 pm, these monsters started to show their true colors. They started interrogating the unarmed and defenseless tourists, asking them Aadhaar card or driving license or anything that could reveal their identity. It gets even worse when these barbaric cowards forced men to strip down, unzipping the pants and checking the private parts to see if the men were circumcised or not. They did this to find out if the men were Hindus or Muslims, as the Muslims are usually circumcised. This isn't some rumor. This report came from the JNK police, who said 20 out of 26 men had their lower clothing tempered with forcibly. All this was done in open, with women, children, and elders watching it in complete silence, praying to God that this would soon end. And then around 2:30 pm, 50 shots were fired. 50 bullets. By the time the smoke cleared, 26 men had lost their lives, with 20 men seriously injured, some barely clinging to life. After those terrorists left the scene, all that remained was a tourist spot filled with bodies of innocent men lying lifeless, and the sound of their wives and children crying out loud.
वहाँ पर थी, क्या बोलते भेलपुरी खा रहे थे, मेरा पति साइड में था, एक इंसान आया, उसने उसको गोली मार दी।
यहाँ पे
उसने बोला कि ये शायद मुस्लिम नहीं है, उसने उसको गोली मार दी।
नहीं 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 आप टेंशन मत लो, अब बेटा आप यहाँ पे रहो, हम साथ में। मैडम ये जो वहीद साहब है प्रेसिडेंट, आप टेंशन मत लो,
मेरे पति का बचा लो,
हम बचा देगा, कोई बात नहीं, बेहतर
प्लीज भगवान मेरे बचा लो।
A place which once symbolized beauty was now shattered beyond recognition. The horrifying part of the incident was, while the terrorist was shooting a man, his wife said कि अब मुझे भी मार दो, means that kill me also. To which the terrorists reply, जाओ अपने मोदी को बोल दो, meaning go tell your Modi. Imagine a woman married just 2 months ago, now mourning the brutal death of her husband. Think about the 2 international tourists, one from Abu Dhabi and one from Nepal, who came to see Kashmir's beauty, but instead met with a horror that they never deserved. Picture an innocent father with his daughter, who came for a simple vacation, only for the daughter to be shot at the leg and watch helplessly as her father was being executed by these terrorists. What wrong would she have done to deserve this trauma for the rest of her life? Think about a Muslim man who was the sole earner of the family, just being shot for helping and trying to save the tourists from the terrorists. Imagine a father and his son who were traveling with faith to attend Morari Bapu's seminar, just to be gunned down mercilessly. I will be sharing the screenshot of all the men that died on 22nd April. If you have time, please pause the video and see who they were, what were their family background, from where they came, as they are not just simply names. They could be anyone from anywhere. These bastards knew that it would take a minimum of 40 minutes for the help to come. as Baisaran Valley was not accessible by car. Taking advantage of this, they fled back in the jungles. The blame for this terrorist attack was taken by Lashkar-e-Taiba, a famous terrorist organization. The police identified and sketched these terrorists after confirming it with the officials and the people present there. The incident was so horrifying that it spread like a wildfire across social media and Indian news outlets, with everyone reporting the number of deaths, sharing the videos of the massacre, providing information about the deceased, and airing the interviews of the families who were mourning the death of their loved ones. Around 5:36ish, all politicians started condemning the attack. Giving condolences to the families who were mourning the death of their loved ones. Home Minister Amit Shah left for Srinagar the same day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who left for Saudi Arabia, returned early following the attack. As of now, tensions between India and Pakistan are very high, with both their militaries protecting their borders respectively. As an immediate response, India has cut the Indus Water Treaty, and as per a politician in Bangalore, the water is already stopped to reach Pakistan. See this image. We can clearly see that water flowing before in the image on the left and the condition of the stream on 20th April after the cutting of Indus Water Treaty. This in no means mean all water will be stopped, as it's not possible to stop so much water with only so many dams. Cutting water to a terrorist breeding country was not enough. This time, Indians and especially Hindus wanted to show that anytime, any day and anywhere we were stronger, better and more capable than them. Long went the time when a terrorist attack would be countered by banning the local actors, stopping trade with them temporarily, or stopping the Atari show. In short, what followed wasn't silence, it was precision. It was Operation Sindoor, a tribute to all women who lost their innocent husbands during the Pahalgam attack. In the early hours of 7th May, Indian Air Force and Armed Force co-jointly executed Operation Sindoor with only one mission: to dismantle the terrorist organizations that bled India for many decades. Indian forces struck 9 major terror hubs in POK and Pakistan, including the infamous Markaz Taiba in Muridke and Markaz Subhanallah in Bahawalpur, the breeding grounds of Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, respectively. This table shows all the 9 terror camps that were destroyed by the forces. It has the location and the significance that they hold it. The terror camps that were destroyed included Markaz Taiba in Muridke, Markaz Subhanallah in Bahawalpur, Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Bhimbe, Sialkot, Shakargarh, Ahmadpur Sharkia. Now you may ask, who were in those camps? The camps housed operatives and leaders from LET, JEM and Hizbul Mujahideen, including high value targets. Confirmed kills include Yusuf Azhar, who was a part of JEM, who was an hijacker in IC-814. He was the brother of infamous Masood Azhar, Abdul Malik Rauf, Hafiz Muhammad Jamil, Khalid, alias Abu Akasha. Indian Army estimates over 140 terrorists, planners, shooters and foreign militants to be killed in the attack. On 7th May 2025, amid the increasing hostilities from India on POK and Pakistan, Pakistan launched heavy artillery and mortars on the Poonch district in Jammu and Kashmir. Using heavy weaponry, they deliberately targeted residential areas, schools, and gurudwaras of the Indian land. This brutal assault or attack led to the death of about 15 to 16 innocent civilians, including women and children. And the attack injured over 50 to 60 more people seriously. Although the Indian army had made it very clear that their fight was against the terrorists, not the Pakistani army or the civilians. But these attacks was taken personally by the Pakistani army. This was evident by the presence of top military officials at the funerals of the terrorists that were killed in the Operation Sindoor. In response to the Poonch attack, on 8th May, Indian Army and Indian Air Force co-jointly attacked 11 of their Pakistani air bases. These 11 bases were shattered and left beyond recognition. The destroyed air bases include Noor Khan, Rafiki, Murid, Sukur, Sargoda, Polari, Jekakabad or Shabaz, Kardu, Sialkot, Parsur, Chunian and Rahim Yar Khan. As an immediate retaliation, the Pakistani launched 300 to 400 Turkish and Chinese drones, UAVs and UCAVs, targeting regions in Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan and Punjab. However, India's S-400 air defense system made sure that no drone could reach the target, as it intercepted and destroyed all launched drones in the air. Not one of the 300 to 400 drones reached the location that it was supposed to. Salute to the Indian Army and Indian Air Force for creating such systems. The tensions rose on 9th May to the highest peak. Then, on the afternoon of 10th May, Trump on his social media platform Truth announced that USA had successfully intermediated the ceasefire between India and Pakistan, which was just a joke. As hours later, Pakistan violated the ceasefire and launched the drones in the air, which were again intercepted by the S-400 defense system. On 10 May, Pakistan launched their retaliation program to Operation Sindoor, named Banyan un Marsus, that claimed that they had targeted many of the Indian air bases and destroyed them completely. They also claimed that they destroyed many of the Hindu religious sites. In a press conference from the Press Information Bureau, it was clearly mentioned and confirmed that none of the Indian air bases were destroyed. And the Indian forces showed with proofs that they had destroyed 11 air bases and 9 terror camps in Pakistan and POK. One of the ironic parts of this attack is the sheer doglapan of YouTubers like Dhruv Rathi. He has over 3 crore subscribers on his YouTube channel, with most of them Hindi speaking. In his 20-minute long video about the attack, he barely speaks 6 minutes about the actual attack. The rest, the usual rant. Modi this, Modi that, Modi failed here, Modi failed there, Modi, 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 Modi. Someone on Twitter rightly pointed out, in the entire video, Dhruv Rathi mentions Pakistan only 3 times, while he name drops Modi 30 times.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने एक रैली में कहा था, गोदी मीडिया को इससे कोई मतलब नहीं है। होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह ने कहा है कि इस आतंकी हमले के लिए जब गोदी मीडिया के जरिए सरकार के सऊदी अरब का दौरा बीच में छोड़ भारत लौट रहे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने हवाई अड्डे पर ही बुलाई बैठक। गुस्से में मोदी, ऑर्डर से पूरी दुनिया हैरान। एक ऐसी दुनिया जहां पर धरती मोदी के अराउंड चक्कर लगाती है थी कि बीजेपी छत्तीसगढ़ के है कि बीजेपी वाले बीजेपी।
This arrange should be a great indicator of what narrative he is pushing. Even the comment section felt off. All of them read like bot generated spam. This guy practically blamed the entire attack on the intelligence agencies and Modi.
खैर अपने मुद्दे पर वापस आए।
It's high time that we start asking questions like, if terrorism doesn't have religion, then why is it such that terrorists always do? Why is it always the Hindus that are targeted? Why are Hindus always expected to be forgiving? While we sit here and debate about what languages should be spoken in what state, these terrorists are getting stronger, literally bleeding us with 1,000 cuts. It's high time that we stop romanticizing the idea of universal brotherhood. Terrorists are not confused youth who need mental help. They are not to be understood. They are to be dealt with as terrorists. And to my Hindu brothers and sisters, this is the time that we unite together and not fight within ourselves over language, caste, region, etc. It's time to embrace Shastra, wisdom, and strength as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Because the enemy doesn't understand peace. Let's stop pretending that unity is possible. The painful truth is, India and Pakistan can never resolve their conflicts because the fundamental vision of both the countries is completely different. One aims to become the Vishwaguru in the field of science, technology, and knowledge, while the other is trying to become the epicenter of global jihad. The difference is staring us right in our eyes, and we can't ignore it anymore. This video was deliberately made late so that to my viewers watching, the fire inside them still keeps burning. I won't be asking you to subscribe or like the video, as it's demeaning for me to ask for my personal growth when somebody has lost their husband, their son, or their father.